Welcome, students. In today's video, we will be looking at the numeracy test for June 2023. This test is primarily for grade 4 students, and there will be 30 questions. You'll be given 40 minutes in which to complete all 40 questions. Let's get to the first question. Where possible, I will do the calculations, but sometimes in the interest of time, and to allow you also to do your own workings or show your own workings, I may not always work the questions. All right, so in this first question, it says, which option shows coins with a total value of 42? Okay, so again, these are Jamaican coins and they have different values. So you would have to add all the coins in each option to see what gives a total value of 42. So let's look at option A, 20 plus 10 plus 1 would be 31, okay? 20 plus 20 plus 10 plus 1, that's 51. 20 plus 3 $1 coins, that would be 23. And option D, 20 plus 20, that's 40, plus 2 $1 coins, that's 42. So the correct answer is 42. Oh, okay, so let's move on to question 2. Question 2 says, let me make this as big as possible. Now, some of you guys might be using cell phones, but I always tell my students, if you have access to a smart TV where you can have YouTube on your TV, then it's best to use that screen or a computer screen to view these questions. Which two numbers will give a total of 100? So again, we have for each option 2 numbers. You would need to add the 2 numbers each and then see which has a total of 100. Let me try to do these quickly. So 45 and 75, 5 and 5, that's 10. Okay, and that gives us 120. That's not 100. So let's try 45 and 65. The plus sign there. That's 0. Bring the 1 over, and that's 11. Also, that's not 100. Let's try 35 and 65. 0. Bring the 1 over. Okay, that's 100. We don't need to do D because we have found our answer. The answer is C. Question 3, which operation will give the difference of 2 numbers? So the answer would also be D. Not also, the answer is D. When we subtract, the result that we get is called the difference, okay? Question 4, which number, when divided by 3, leaves a remainder? So if I should try to divide these numbers, all right, and I'm going to start at the top. Usually when I find my answer, I don't need to go any further. Sometimes, just to be sure, you may need to do all of them, okay? Because perhaps sometimes you might have made a mistake. So we will do all of them. Okay, so 12 divided by 3, 3 into 3, 3 into 12 goes 4. That doesn't leave a remainder. 14 divided by 3. If I try to divide 14 by 3, I get 4, and I'm left with the remainder of 2, okay? 15, and there are different ways to find your answer, guys. For some of you, if you have difficulties with division, and if you have time, then you could do circles or strokes, and you divide and, put them into groups, and you could do it that way, okay? I'm doing it this way, as I said, because of time. So when I divide 15 by 3, I get 5, no remainder. And then we have 21 divided by 3. And of course, it helps if you know your 3 times, the multiplication table. So if you know your 3 times, then this would be very easy for you. So again, that leaves no remainder. So the answer would be 14. So B is our correct answer. Number 5 says, which of the following is true? Okay, so again, you would have to know what these signs mean: the greater than sign, the less than sign, the equal sign. Okay, so the first option reads 19 is greater than 25. Is that true? No, it's not. Okay. Option B, 19 is less than 25. That's correct, but let's just observe the other options. C says 25 is equal to 19. Of course, that's not true. And also D says 19 is less than 19. Both numbers are the same, so there's no way that 19 is less than 19. So the correct answer would be B. 19 is less than, and that's a less than sign. Students, 19 is less than 25. Let's get to number 6. A bag with 30 mangoes is shared equally among friends. Which of the following would result in the number of mangoes each friend received? Okay, so which operation would we need to carry out in order to find out, right? We're sharing equally among 3 friends. So of course, that's a division activity. We're dividing 30 mangoes between, so we're going to be dividing 30 by 3. The answer is A. Question 7, which of the following represents the product of 521 and 3? 521 and 3. So again, the answers are, their options are there. But let's quickly try to work it out to see what our answer would be. 3 times 1, that's 3. 3 times 2, that's 6. 3 times 5, that's 15. So the answer is 1,563. Answer is C. And guys, before I work the question, if you want to pause the video so that you could attempt the questions and then come back to see what my answer was or what I calculated, that's also something that you could do to give you practice on your own. All right, so question 8 says, which digit has the greatest value in the number 4352, which is 4,352. Okay, so which digit has the greatest value in the number? So we are pretty much looking at the place value, right? Not necessarily the face value, what the number is. Okay, so for 8, the answer, the greatest value in the number would be this number here, because it represents 4,000. Okay, the 3 represents hundreds, right? And the 5 represents tens. All right, so I should have put TH right here, but I had not actually intended to do the numbers, these at the top. So, right, so 1,000, 100, tens, and ones. So the 4 there has the greatest value. It has a value of 4,000, okay? So don't look at it to say number 5. That 5 represents 5 tens, so it does not have the greatest value. Question 9, which of the following represents $423.15? $423.15. Option A is $402,315. That doesn't have anything with cents. So again, looking at the options, we would either select C or D based on the 15 cents there, but it says 400. So again, C has $40,023. D is the answer. That's the option that represents $423.15. Let's get to number 10, which is another way of writing 540. Okay, so 500, again, when we have it in expanded form like this, if we were supposed to add the values together, then it should give us, so 5 plus 4 plus 0, that's 9. So that would not be correct. 50 plus 40 plus 0, that's 90. Also not correct. So 50 plus 4 plus 0, that gives us, let me put the addition sign so you can see, that gives us a total of 54. That's also not correct. And then the final 500 plus 40 plus 0, we add all those together, it gives us 540. So the answer is D. Okay, moving on. We are 1/3 of the way through the paper. Remember, the paper has 30 questions, so we have gone 1/3 of the questions so far. All right, so here we have a fraction question. I'm going to reduce the size of the paper so that we have the options, the answers as well. Okay, here we go. All right, so the diagram below shows a rectangle divided into 4 equal parts. The shaded parts of the rectangle represents one whole. Use the diagram to answer question 11. What is the total fraction represented by the shaded parts of the rectangle shown below? Okay, so what's the total fraction? So remember they showed us what a whole is, okay? It's a rectangle that was shaded off, divided into 4 equal parts, and then it was completely shaded. That's one whole. So here we have, this is one whole, this is another, and then this is 3 out of 4 parts shaded, okay? So if we should add 1 plus 1 plus 3 over 4, the answer is A, 2 3/4 or 2 3/4. Okay, so one whole plus another whole, that's 2 wholes, and then we have a 3 out of 4 parts shaded, so that's 3/4. Question 12. Let me make it a little bigger again. As I said, I'm just trying to make sure that for students using cell phones to look at these or tablets, then you guys can see as best as possible. A fraction of the circle below has been shaded. Use it to answer question 12. Which number represents the denominator of the fraction that is shaded? So again, you have to know the different parts of the fraction. The number at the top, that's the numerator, and the number at the bottom, that's the denominator. So let's look at this fraction. This fraction was originally divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 parts. Okay, so out of it has 8 parts. So we know that this fraction is out of 8 parts. How many parts have been shaded? 4 parts. So this fraction is 4 over 8. So again, remember this number at the top, that's the numerator, and this number at the bottom, that's the denominator. And so what number represents the denominator? Option D, 8. So again, guys, you have to know the different parts of the fraction and also the different types of fractions that there are. All right, question 13. What is 364 rounded to the nearest 100? Okay, rounded to the nearest 100. This number says 364. So what we want to find out is if this number is closer to 300 or closer to 400, okay? Because it's between those two hundreds. So what's the number? How do we do rounding off? Okay, so here's a number 364. First, we underline the digit in the rounding place. That's 3. We look to the right. Is that number 5 or more? Yes, it is. If it's 5 or more, then we add 1 to the digit in the rounding place. Okay, and then all the numbers to the right, they change to zeros. Okay, so 1 plus 3, that's 4. So when we round 364 to the nearest 100, the answer is 400. And if you were to place this number on the number line between 300 and 400, it would be closer to 400 than 300. All right, so question 14. Alex came fourth in a race. Sam came 3 places ahead of him. What was Sam's position in the race? So they're going in this direction. I said sometimes you have to make that as practical as possible. Alex came fourth. So here is 4. Okay, and A represents Alex. Now, Sam came 3 places ahead of him, so we don't know where Alex is as yet. Sorry, where Sam is as yet. So this is 4th, this would be 3rd place, this would be 2nd, and this would be 1st place. So if this is Alex and Sam came 3 places ahead of him, then Sam is 1st. Okay, so the answer would be A, Sam is 1st. Let's move on to the next question. All right, the picture below shows a group of students. Use it to answer question 15. Which fraction of the group of students is standing? Okay, what fraction of the group of students is standing? So how many students are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's a total of 7 students. So we know that our denominator should be 7. Now let's count how many students are standing. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 students standing out of the total 7 students. So the fraction of the group of students standing would be 4/7. Okay, 4 out of the 7 students are standing. Now, question 16. So we have completed half the paper already. Question 16. Examine the number line below. Use it to answer question 16. Which fraction best describes the location of x? Which fraction best describes the location of x? Okay, so here we have the half mark. Right here is the half mark. Okay, and then we have 1 here. So what would be half of a half? That's pretty much what this question is asking. Okay, so if we were to do the different parts based on the fractions, then we would have, if we divide 1 whole, okay, into 4 parts, okay, the first part would be 1/4. So each part would be 1/4, okay, so this would be 1/4 right here. So the first division, since we have 4 divisions there, would be 1/4, okay? So the answer is C, 1/4. All right, let's go. Remember, guys, please do share and subscribe to this channel. Really appreciate having you guys around. All right, so question 17. Examine the set of triangles below. The fraction of the triangles that are shaded is 6/10. Right? 6/10. Use this information to answer question 17. Which whole number is 6/10 closest to? The options 0, 1, 6, or 10. Okay, so 6/10, that number is 6 out of 10 parts. So just imagine, and I always like to use cake. You have a cake, and I'm not going to put 10 slices on the cake right now because, yeah. But just imagine this cake was divided into 10 slices, okay? So it's not 10 cakes, or it's not 6 cakes. It's just 1 cake that was divided into 10 slices. And if you took 6 out of the 10 slices, how many slices, or pretty much what portion of the cake would you have taken, right? What's the closest thing? It's closest to 1 cake that you would have eaten, okay? Not 6 cakes, not 10 cakes, okay? Let me just do this quickly. So we have 1 cake, so 1 slice there. 2, and remember when you're doing fractions, it's evenly divided, okay? My cake slices are not so even, but you get the picture. 1, 2, 3, Okay, so this is 10. And if you got 6 out of the 10, okay, what would 6 out of 10 look like? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you add all of this part of the cake, then it's almost 1 cake that you would have eaten. So what whole number is 6 over 10 closest to? The answer is 1. Okay, because remember, 6 out of 10 parts, we do not have 1 whole. 1 whole would have been 10 out of 10 parts, okay? So let's move on. The answer was B. Question 18. Examine the picture showing a bottle of liquid soap below. Use it to answer question 18. Which unit of measure is most suitable to represent the amount of liquid soap in the bottle? So again, liquid, what unit of measure do we use for liquid? Not grams, not meters, not tons, but liters. Okay, that's what we use to measure liquid. Question 19. Examine the time shown on the clock below. Use it to answer question 19. Which of the following is the same as the time shown on the clock? And I guess you guys would have to, if not yet, know how to read analog clocks, okay? So the shorthand is pointing to 5, or it's very close to 5, and then the longhand is pointing to 4. So remember, the shorthand represents the hour, and this represents, in terms of minutes. So from 12 to 4, that would be at increments of 5 minutes. So this would be 5, 10, 15. When we get to this one, it's 20. So it would be 20 past 5. The answer is D. 20 minutes past the hour of 5. Question 20. A piece of stick is 55 centimeters long. How much shorter than a meter is the piece of stick? Okay, so how much shorter? So it's not 1 meter, that much we know. But how much shorter than a meter is a piece of stick? So what we will have to do is we'll have to already know how many centimeters make 1 meter, and it takes 100 centimeters to give you 1 meter. Okay, so it's best to convert both into the same unit. So we are using the centimeters here. So if we subtract 55 from 100, okay, to see how much shorter, okay, so this would be 9, because we need 1 over here. That's 5, 45. So it's 45 centimeters shorter than a meter. So the answer is A. Okay, so you would have to subtract to find the answer. Question 21. All right, so now we are at the final 10 questions of the paper. Examine the rectangle below. Use it to answer question 21. The amount of space taken up by the rectangle is 28 centimeters square. What does 28 centimeters square represent? And usually, guys, I hope you know by now that when you see centimeters square, that's automatically talking about area. Well, let's do the calculations to see. 7 times 4, that's 28, 28 centimeters square. So like I said, the answer would be A, area, okay? The length is 7 centimeters. The perimeter, we would have to add all the sides, but with perimeter, we do not have squared at the end of our answer, okay? So the correct answer is A, area. Question 22, again, I'm going to have to reduce this so that everything goes on the page. Let's go. All right, let me read this one for you. Which instrument is best used to accurately measure temperature? And this one is a giveaway. We all know it's a thermometer, so the answer is B. Okay? That's the answer, B. All right, so let's get to question 23. All right, so let me make this bigger again so that we can see the questions. Okay. A little bit smaller because there are 2 questions for this. So we want to put both on the paper, on the screen at the same time. All right, so the diagram below shows the month of October from a calendar for the year 2022. Use it to answer questions 23 and 24. Okay, which day is October 3, 2022? So we're going to have to look at the calendar. October 3, that's a Monday. Okay, so our answer is B, Monday. Which of the following is true about the month of October? It has 6 weeks, 5 weeks and 2 days, 5 weeks, or 4 weeks and 3 days. So we would have to know how many days make 1 week, and that is 7. But usually from Sunday to Saturday, that's 1 whole week. So we have 1 week here. Here's another week. Here's another week. That's number 3, and this is week number 4. But we have 1 extra day here, and we have 2 days down here. So we have 4 full weeks, right? 4 weeks, 7 days each, and then we have 3 extra days. So it would be option D, 4 weeks and 3 days. And of course, 7 times 4 is 28. 28 plus 3, that's 31. October has 31 days. Okay, so question 25, examine the box below. Use it to answer item 25. The box is an example of what's solid, and the answer is a cuboid, okay? Cube would be all the sides have the same length, all equal sides. This was a rectangles, so it's a cuboid. Question 26. All right, so almost at the end of the paper, guys. So this one wasn't too long for you, but I hope you would do well on your exam using this as a guide. All right, so question 26. A line was drawn through a shape and it created 2 identical squares. Which of the following could be the shape of the line that was drawn through? All right, is it a circle, a kite, a rectangle, or a triangle? All right, so again, circle. Let me draw them. A circle, a kite, a rectangle. Again, guys, I'm not drawing these very accurately. Okay, so which of these, if you draw a line through, would give you 2 identical squares? And I don't think this is it. Neither this, neither this. So the answer would be this. So my answer is rectangle. Again, you have to make it as practical as possible. You have to, if you're one of those visual learners, then you have to draw shapes, draw things to see what your answer should be. Question 27. Bicycle together with its price tag is shown below. Use it to answer questions 27 and 28. Which of the following would result in the cost for 2 bicycles? Okay, so you're going to add 2. If you're going to find the cost of 2 bicycles, this is the cost for 1. So n plus n, the option is D. Okay, we're adding the 2 per cost. That will give the cost of the bicycle is n dollars. So if we add another n dollars, that gives us the price. If we can subtract or divide or multiply. Okay, we'd have to multiply n dollars by 2, but not by n dollars again. All right, so the answer is D. Question 28. Susan bought the bicycle on sale for half price. She paid $4,000. What was the original price of the bicycle? Okay, so she paid half price, okay? So that means the price should have been double what she paid for it. So what's 2 times 4,000? Okay, so 2 times 4,000. Okay, so she paid half price. So she should have paid double what she paid. So if I should double 4,000, what would my total be? So she paid half price, okay? That means the price should have been twice what she paid. So price would have been $8,000. Okay, the answer is A. All right, let's get to our final two questions. Okay, let me reduce this one just a bit. All right, students in a grade 4 class were asked which sport they liked most. The pictograph below shows their responses. Use it to answer questions 29 and 30. The sports, track and field, netball, tennis, and football. So the key says that a smiley face represents 4 students, okay? So how many students like football? So guys, what you have to pay attention to, and I had to draw students' attention to this, if one entire face is 4, then this is half of a face, okay? So it's not a complete face. Don't think that they made a mistake, okay? It's half of the face. That means it's half of the value. So football would be 4 plus 4, and half of 4, because it's half of the face, that's 2. So how many students like football? The answer would be 10. 4 plus 4 plus 2, that gives us a total of 10. All right, let's head to the final question. Which sport is liked by twice the number of students who like tennis? So we have to find out how many students like tennis. So we have 4 plus, again, half of a face, so that's 2. So 4 plus 2, that's 6. Okay, so which sport is liked by twice the number of students? So which sport is liked by 12? Okay, twice the number of students would be 6 times 2, that's 12. So which represents 12? And of course, that's netball. 4 plus 4 plus 4, that gives us a total of 12. Remember, we had already said this one was 10, and at the top, 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, that's 16 plus 2, that would be 18. Okay, so the answer is netball. All right, and that takes us to question 30. Students, I do intend to have more videos up for all the different grades, so share with a friend, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.